Hey guys, it's Kaylee
And Kelsey.
once again. This is probably like the third or fourth one we've done together, but this is our presentation over our evolution and religion topics today for the week. To start off, we kind of decided to do more. We're kind of going for more of like a and scientific versus religion approach. So for ours, we kind of decided we approached it that way and how like coexisting, like it's not an issue. It shouldn't be an issue, whether you're an objective thinker or more subjectively. I mean, there's major differences between the two. There's similarities in how they developed, and we're kind of just gonna go over that.
Okay, first we just kind of wanted to define what science is, which is it's a kind of a way to understand nature by developing explanations for the structures, processes, and history of nature that can be tested by observations in labs or in the field.
And then with religion, it's more of your social institutions, tradition, and practice, literature, sacred texts and stories, and sacred practices that identify and convey ultimate meaning. It's very diverse. Some religions have a deity or deities. There's monotheism, for example, your Judaism, Christianity, or Islam. Or there's some religions that do not. There's your non-theistic religions, like your Buddhisms. The testing of religion understanding is incidental, and it kind of just happens, and it's more based on stories. And like with religion, it's more they have the sacred text and they're like, this is what happened, let me find all the evidence within this that shows why this happens.
And just going back to science, although science doesn't necessarily provide a solid proof, it provides explanation and depends on deliberate, explicit, formal testing for explanations. These explanations then are confirmed by observations that lead to reliable theories. And obviously, your theory is your highest form of scientific explanation, not just an opinion.
So, like, kind of comparing both of them and how they really honestly relate to each other. Your religion, a lot of it is drawn from your scientific explanations. Historical traditions that exhibit development over time is another way how they are together.
They both place for individual insight and communal discernment.
And there's analytical and synthetic meaning in both. Everyone tries to approach it from every sort of aspect, whether you're religious or you're more scientific based.
Also, both kind of aim to shape an increasing global society.
And they pretty much they either jeopardize or contribute to the common good of mankind. Um, Believing and understanding religion, we'll go back to evolution part. It doesn't necessarily have to go against your spiritual belief. And that's kind of the issue we talked about in class, where most churches don't talk about the fact that evolution, like there's prime evidence saying, well, it might not be exact, but there's no way that our Earth is only 6,000 years, 6 million years old. It's a lot older than that. So, I guess move on to our creative piece. This is what we decided to do. Decided to have a coexisting pumpkin. On one side we had the progression of ape into man, and then on the other side we painted religious symbols. There's Christianity, Judaism, Taoism, paganism, and Islam painted on them. And then we'll go to the video and we'll let you see it all together. So here it goes. Or, yeah, there it goes.
Got the full view.
It was kind of hard to just take like one picture because you really don't get the full aspect. So bear with us on our very awkwardly taken video. And that was our creative project. So for our explanation, the use of the pumpkin, first off, we kind of agreed that starting at a young age, explaining how like evolution works and how like while evolution and religion can be separate, they can both exist. So, and how it doesn't really affect like the child's faith or their actual objective meanings in life.
Yeah, we kind of use the pumpkin as like a symbol because a lot of kids get to carve pumpkins and stuff when, like at a little age. So I don't know. We just kind of thought it was symbolic to use a pumpkin
And also,
compared to a child, I guess.
yeah, and it's also something that's very sociably acceptable to do in today's society. The evolution of the man carving and why we had the candle up picture is to show the primitiveness of how humans, Homo sapiens, how we have evolved. Like, we didn't just come from, there's no spontaneous generation for us. We didn't just go snap the fingers. Like, and we have been like on lower level of food chains, but now we're up at the top, so we just decided that would be the best way to show it's okay. Like, we can relate to each other. I don't know what else.
And then next, we just obviously on one side we had the carving of evolution, on the other we had the painted religious symbols. Each kind of represents a difference in thinking, theology, and customs. We didn't paint all the religions just because it was kind of hard, but we kind of just try to get like the major ones that y'all could see on there. And then of course all of these are able to coexist on the same side.
The reason why Christianity was in the middle, for one, it kind of represents America. How a lot of congregations in America have more of a radical thinking, and it tries to tend to be the furthest away from evolution. And while that's being said, it's still on the same pumpkin. Like, it's there, it's coexisting. The pumpkin hasn't burst into flames and been struck down by lightning, and that's something that I guess needs to be addressed.
The grooves of the pumpkin, obviously, they're very hard to paint and carve on. It represents the difficulty to fully accept all of particular religious practices.
And the two distinctive sides, like, it just shows the coexistence and tolerance as a worldly view. It's okay to be religious, and it's okay to believe in your evolution. And it's important to address both and be accepting of both, or else, like, we can look at the pumpkin as a world. If we get so caught up in having these two extremely different sides, like, we'll be at a holy war, technically, I guess you can say that, because we're not accepting of the full religious teaching.
Yeah, also kind of like with evolution, we kind of made it see through, as in like some people accept it and some don't. Like, and on the other side, you have your solid religious symbols and things of that sort, as in they solidly believe in what they believe in, while they see through evolution.
So, for inspiration, this was hard. I talked to several friends, teammates, talked to my mom. They didn't really know how to address it. Like, I looked up ways how teachers teach in the classroom, how they handle people with more of a radical thinking, and it was hard.
I just wanted to carve a pumpkin, so I've tried to find a way to incorporate pumpkin carving into our inspiration, I guess. I don't know.
This Kelsey found a really good article. It was the introduction, broader social impacts committee. I think it's for with the Smithsonian actually, and it's science, religion, evolution, creation, and primer. It was good. It laid everything out for us. It was very informative. Just kind of how the other article we read in class kind of showed how it was also just showed a lot of like suggestions on what should be done too. And then like with the pumpkin, we just wanted to be like show like more of a progression tolerant of the topics, with it being like more of a childhood thing and it's like able to still exist and not go to complete waste.
Yeah, like we said, we would like to see like religion and evolution kind of be taught at a younger age, but like maybe like in kindergarten it's just something really simple this is what evolution is, and they just show like a progression of like ape to human or whatever. Just something simple where they don't necessarily have to understand it, but they see it. But each year they kind of build off of it and they keep going more and more into depth, and so that they actually understand what they're learning. It's not just something that goes in one year and out the other.
Okay, so obviously the hardest part was figuring out like what we're gonna do. We agreed that children would probably be our best target audience. Um, it was, and honestly, technologically wise, this was really hard to get up because we're actually in Arkansas right now, and we've had really crappy internet. So trying to get this posted, trying to download the stuff, that was hard. And it was just a confusing topic in general.
Yeah, we just didn't know what way to go for a while. We just kind of we
Just kind of,
talked for a long time.
yeah, it was several days.
And finally, we had our outside reactions.
Um, so I talked to our girl from England. She's actually our teammate number 2. She doesn't really, she's not really, she's a believer, but she's not really a full on, I'm a godly person, blah, blah, blah. She was like, I full heartedly believe in evolution. I mean, where she came from, like, people are pretty much think the same way. They're more progressive, like we were talking about, like, more of your European countries are more progressive how they think and whatnot. So, and she kind of agreed with this. She was like, yeah, like, pretty much proven facts shouldn't really be disputed, but people should take it also like, if you want to believe what you believe, that's fine. Just don't ostracize against it.
And then we had teammate number 1, who she found it more offensive that her religion was around other people's religion or coexisted, I suppose. She found the lighted ape progression interesting to look at, but she did disagree with the aspect of evolution itself.
And this girl, she was also from Venezuela, so we had 2 like non-American views on it. So it was really neat to hear like them talk about it.
Yep.
And I think that's all we've got for you guys today.
Sorry our video was so long.
Well, good luck.
See you in class.
Thanks, guys.